Hey guys, Adam aka CSRadical here, and thank you for checking out this episode of the VCR Podcast. For more content, you can visit our Instagram at vcr.podcast. If you are looking for a video version of this podcast, you can visit my YouTube channel at CSRadical. And if you are coming from the YouTube channel looking for an audio version of the podcast, you can check us out at anchor.fm/VCR Podcast for all available platforms. Thanks for checking us out, guys, and let's get on with the show.
You have entered the realm of the VCR Podcast with your host, Fish.
They're just bastardizing our childhood and the classics.
Chris.
Nintendogs drove me. It's what makes me want to hurt people.
Radical.
People in general still bitch about everything. It still doesn't change.
Let the podcast begin.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the VCR Podcast, the only podcast that predates itself from the moment the title is spoken. The VCR here, minus a Trump, minus a president this week. We'll try to hang in there and just get past us. The show must go on.
He has a very important Halloween engagement at the White House today.
I can't believe I was even going to say this ever in my life, but I miss Trump.
Nah, that's not true. So, VCR Podcast is running and here to go. So, it is the Halloween special. Only one of us actually showed up for Halloween, that being Vish. Vish being...
I wear a shirt that has a skull on it.
Yeah, that's not going to go very well.
For the ones who are wondering, I am Thor.
And apparently making a lot of noise because that straw, motherfucker. So,
Environmentally friendly metal straw.
you will notice already that there is no video here. For whatever reason, my camera is not working today. I'm hoping to alleviate that next time.
Silly camera.
We also,
Tricks are for
obviously
kids.
it's been 2 weeks since an episode has been posted. There's a reason for that. We did record an episode last week. We had a guest with us. We had Mike from North Wolf, he who is a indie developer. We met him at the EGLX Expo in Toronto. And we had him in. We had a fantastic 2 hour interview.
2 hours or 2 minutes.
And,
Yeah, it took a long time to edit because it was only 2 minutes long.
well, it's going to take a long time to edit because there's some issues. So
Technical gremlins, man.
when
It's the gremlins.
the short story is
Did
that
you feed it after midnight?
no.
Always.
Ooh.
So when I started recording, we had issues initially with the mixer to output the audio. So I'm figuring, okay, well, what the hell am I going to do here? If the audio's not working, obviously we can't do shit. So I remembered I used to have an old audio channel that could also be used. So I figured, okay, I'll click on that, did a quick test, listened to about 5 seconds of it to make sure I had audio, and everything was fine. I should have listened to 10 seconds of it, because every 10 seconds, it's one of those things that says, trial, every 10 seconds.
Oh.
So that audio is mostly fucked.
Oh,
Yeah.
Thankfully,
shit.
the webcam records audio, but it's directional. So Mike comes in perfectly. You come in okay, and me and Trump are basically quiet.
Yeah.
So what I'm trying to do
man.
is, and this is this episode's going to take a while to come out. So I probably won't even start editing that episode till I finish editing the one that we're doing right now.
So
Of course.
every time it says trial, it'll be Yahoo!
Yeah, so the only way that I'm going to be able to let that podcast work is I'm either going to have to figure out a way to hopefully make me and Trump sound remotely loud, or I'm going to have to try to figure out a way to splice in the audio that has the fuck up over it. So that's going to be a lot of work, and I haven't really gotten around to it because I kind of am afraid that it's going to be way too much of a pain in the ass.
Oh,
That sounds
man.
2 hours and every 10 seconds. That's
Yep.
Literally 10 seconds.
Yes, every 10 seconds.
so you could use the webcam and then try and get you
And as it turns
Trump
out,
off your mics, I guess.
I
don't know.
tried again to do the output properly like it was supposed to, and it works just fine. So I'm fucking furious about that.
Okay, so going forward when we are recording, I will get my camcorder that I have at home, which is actually a pretty decent camcorder. The file will be quite large, but at least it'll be good quality.
At least as a backup, anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
So, I mean, it'll still be fine in some shape or form. It's just a matter of how fine it will be. But that will be something that will come out eventually, I think.
Or we just release it as is and we call it Trial. That's the episode's name.
That would be pretty amazing.
Well, the thing is, I'm sure we're going to have Mike on again because he definitely wants to get Hellbound out there, and I also myself would like to try an actual demo and play the game itself, so I'm sure we'll get
There
Mike
will be
back
more
on.
opportunities. It's just,
There will definitely be more.
after that 2 hours, like we went to the bar afterwards, and I said, dude, that's the best thing I've ever put out.
Yeah. I thought so too.
So
I mean, I've
it's
only
it's,
done
it's a shame that
Adam
we had
jinxed
those issues.
himself.
Yeah, that's what happened. But otherwise, yeah, we're having a lot of hiccups recently. We had that. Now this the camera's not working. I'm not sure why. It just says you can't read the camera anymore. I hope this fucking thing didn't break after only having it for a month. That would be not the greatest thing in the world.
Please tell me you didn't buy from Basic Retail.
No, I just bought it from Amazon, but
You might be able to.
You could probably return
I
it.
might be able to figure a way to it. Either way,
Those fucking Halloween gremlins, man.
It could even just be some really stupid thing that I gotta figure out, but regardless, we'll figure it out as we go along. So, anyways, before we start, normally we don't talk about sports here. I did figure it made sense, though. It is the Thursday, the day after the World Series.
Sorry, I just want to say there is a term I learned called a sports hurricane, and there's levels to it. Last night, I would say, was a level 4 sports hurricane.
Not for most people, but for a Toronto fan, I guess it was for you.
Well,
because
no,
obviously,
I mean in general, it was a level 4 sports hurricane because it was the MLS Eastern Conference Finals.
that's not a sports hurricane for most people, to be honest.
No, you're wrong. It's a soccer, and soccer is the most watched sport in the world.
Not the MLS.
Well played, but
I wish I watched it.
it was also Game 7 of the World Series, which is always a big deal.
That was kind of important.
And this is me being the biased sports fan. Raptors were playing too.
Yeah, no one gives a fuck. So,
I care about
anyways,
that one.
We do.
Congratulations to the old Montreal Expos, or the new
Yes.
Montreal Expos, I should say, and the Washington Nationals for winning their first ever World Series.
First franchise
Now,
win.
it's not the first time Washington has ever had one. The Washington Senators back in the 20s won it. That'd be like Walter Johnson era.
They were then relocated to
But it was
Ottawa
not-
and became a hockey team.
No, that was not the case. but for the actual franchise that started in Montreal with the Expos, that's the first championship that team has ever seen. So technically, both Canadian teams throughout MLB, I almost said MLS like several times there, MLB history have now won a championship.
Yeah,
technically, Montreal is a champion.
Yes.
Technically.
It was, for me, this was the craziest one of the craziest World Series I've ever seen, because the whole thing is like every away team won a game. There was no home team win. So everyone who went to the game was depressed, basically.
Yeah,
every
it
single
was a
person
crazy
who
series.
pays for this to actually still be a thing.
And all the things that normally happen will probably never happen again. The bullpen for the Nationals is not great. They had an ERA of 5.66, which is terrible.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
I'm going to pretend to know what you're talking
in
about.
the playoffs.
So
like,
ERA is earned run average. That's
Oh, okay.
so by
if it's high, it means you don't do good pitch.
Yeah.
So basically, if you let in 3 runs in a game, your earned run average is 3.
Not necessarily. It's dependent on the innings.
Okay, fair enough.
It's a lot more confusing than that.
Yeah,
but the earned
yeah.
average is basically like your average per inning, like I guess per game that you allow.
Baseball stats are basically the movie Good Will Hunting, with
Yes.
it's written on that
Chris, do
chalkboard
you
and
know
only one person can figure
Do you
it
know
out.
what an OPS is in baseball?
No.
Yeah, let's not explain this.
On base plus slugging. Do you know what that means?
No.
Because I don't either.
Okay.
It's just one of those things. It's like when you go to hockey and they say, you know what Corsi is? I'm like, I don't know, but you tell me the number is high, that's good. Okay, I got that much.
What course he is.
But
He's on
yeah,
hole
congrats-
17.
Congrats to those guys. And, you know, as much as I wouldn't have had an issue with the Astros winning, it is nice to see a team win their first. And
Yeah.
for Washington, they've been getting pretty nice luck in sports for the last couple of years.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, here in Toronto, we've had 2 major championships. So, I mean, hopefully.
And we're possibly looking at a third one.
I'm not at this point in time. I'm not looking forward to that. I'm not assuming it's going to happen, but we'll see.
Well, Seattle is also like a underdog.
Oh, sorry, you were talking about MLS again. I'm talking the Leafs. We already got 2 sports with a championship. The
Yeah,
Leafs.
don't jinx it.
Yeah.
The Leafs you don't talk about until it's game 7.
No, I'm talking about.
And it's 4-1
I'm talking about
against Boston.
not 4-1.
with 10 minutes left.
It better be 5-1.
Okay. Unfortunately, right now, I think I'm not expecting a good season right now from the Leafs unless things turn around. Unless like something changes drastically, I am not expecting a good season from the Leafs because it's just right now it's a little bit of a dumpster fire and it's starting to ignite more and more.
Yeah, it's a little depressing.
Yeah.
And
But anyways, let's go to video games because we like that better.
Beep, beep, boop.
It's a little less depressing. Well, actually, that's a lie. When we get to the end of
Adam,
the show, it'll be a
pop
lot more
quiz.
depressing.
what happens when the Leafs win the Stanley Cup?
I don't know because it might never happen.
We would
I'm
all
not
go
really
for
sure where it
drinks.
goes.
I bet you we'd all go for drinks.
You turn the PS4 off.
No.
Okay, you
No.
turn the Xbox off.
No. I mean, I did jokingly tell you guys I will actually do a shot if the Leafs ever win the cup, and I'm straight edge, so that means a lot.
I want this so bad. Leafs, if you're listening, please win.
When he says straight edge, he's a teetotaler. He does not consume alcohol. or anything that is going to inebriate him.
That's exactly what straight edge is. So anyways.
He should, though.
So normally we do our intros, and I guess that's what we will do. I was about to be like, we have something else in store. I'm like, no, that's not the order. See, I'm trying to be so professional, but I've already screwed up one podcast, so I feel like it's fair to do it 2 in a row.
Yes.
So anyways, I guess I'll start with
Are
what
you
we've
John
been doing.
Raphael right now? Professional
but
podcast.
I should be.
Yes.
I should have been in for Halloween. Damn it.
References I don't know about. Anyways,
Parks
so
and Rec.
moving on.
Well, you could have been Sonic.
That would have been difficult.
That would have been
He
John
can't go that
Raphael as
fast.
well, though.
I can run fast. Though they did for the Sonic movie, they did come out with a Halloween costume based on the ridiculous original version of the Sonic
No,
movie.
Chris, it wasn't
and
ridiculous.
it's a horrifying
Chris,
looking costume.
Chris, it wasn't ridiculous. It was an abomination. That's much worse.
Well, the Halloween costume looks awesome.
We'll have plenty of time to talk about ridiculous stuff later. So this week for me has been mostly about the same, other than really one thing. Still been binging. I haven't really been playing a lot of games up until yesterday when I started playing
What are you
Yakuza
binging
4.
right now?
So I've been still going through The Expanse. I'm about halfway into season 3 now, and it's
How many seasons is it?
4 right now. They are greenlit for a 5th.
I thought they were only on like 2.
They did 3 on Sci-Fi. Sci-Fi was dropping them, and Jeff Bezos took them on Amazon.
Oh,
So they've done a
okay. It's
4th.
one of those.
They're
That
looking
makes
into
sense.
a 5th now. That show, unless it royally screws up now, is probably going to end up being my favorite show ever.
Of anything.
Yes.
All right, I got a very
And
serious
I'm not,
question.
and I'm being specific to
This-
live action. I
you
should say.
are-
'cause
Oh, I
anime
was
is a
going to
different thing.
say, does
You
this
are
include
quite
anime?
picky with television in general.
Yeah, and that means something, especially with sci-fi, because it's very easy for sci-fi to get overcomplicated and just be stupid.
Yeah, absolutely.
What are you talking about? That never happens
No,
with
that's
sci-fi.
impossible. But that show has been absolutely phenomenal. Drama is in full aspect. I've actually been able to handle all the violence in there. A guy gets decapitated pretty early in the show, and I'm like, oh shit! Actually, something just happened in the. If you're halfway into season 3, you would have known this. When a guy tries to fly into a certain ring, and what happens to him is quite gross.
It was a giant cock ring. I know it. Calling it.
But that
He
show
went
has
through
been
the urethra.
that show has been fantastic from a dramatic standpoint. I usually don't get too deep into those, but this one, for whatever reason, has worked.
I definitely want to watch it. You've convinced me. This is probably going to be my next show I will binge when I binge. And it better be before another show we're going to talk about later.
If you're about to
I'll
success
get
to me, The Boys, I was going to be like, you've said this every week. I get it.
Bingo
No,
card.
I wasn't going on. I actually was not mentioning that at all. I was waiting for my turn to mention what my
Well,
stuff is.
I'm not done yet.
Okay.
So, like I said, Yakuza 4 is what I've been now starting. I'm about just shy of 15 hours in.
Wait a minute. Didn't that just come out yesterday?
It came out Tuesday.
Which game?
Oh, okay.
And I started Wednesday. I've had the days off, so I've had time.
Oh, right. You had
Which
days
game?
off.
Yakuza 4. So they remastered
Oh,
another
yes.
PS3 one. The
Yeah.
last one will be done in February. And then I can finally buy a copy of Yakuza 6 because I keep refusing to. I'm like, look, if I just keep waiting, it might be $15 by the time it's out.
Yep.
So the fourth game, like the third game, I didn't play through a lot. I just breezed through the story on that one. This one I've been enjoying a lot more. The combat was bettered a little bit. The leveling system's a little less complicated. The overworld's a lot better. So there's a lot more to it that's just overall a lot of improvements that just it's not like a massive change. It's more like an incremental thing. It's good quality of life stuff. I haven't even gotten to playing as Kiryu yet. This one has, I believe, 4 different points of view it goes from. So I just finished the first part of one character, and I'm now into the second.
Oh,
Is
that's
it,
cool.
Is it the way this game works? Is it do you play a different character per
Not
chapter
necessarily.
or something, or can
no,
you choose?
in most games it's one. I mean, sometimes in Yakuza 0, which is where most people, if you're new, should start at now because it's in Origins.
Yeah.
You'll play as 2 characters in that game. The next 3, I don't think you play as anybody else. I think you just play as Kiryu.
But it's open world, right? Ish?
It's more like you have this set area and you just walk around it.
Okay.
It's a very enclosed area. It's not too big. To the point, and it's been the same stuff every game. Like, it's the same city. The only difference is maybe a few doors will change and some extra places will open up, but it's still the same area. And they usually have another second area that they go to. That's about it. But for the most part, like every time you play a new Yakuza game, you're going to start almost every time in the same city. So it's almost like nostalgic in a way doing that.
Yeah.
But story-wise, hasn't really picked up too much yet. It's been more just kind of like easing in and just being a little bit more cheesy at this point in time. There's at least already one point in the game where You learn how to kick somebody in the nuts because you should. That's a pretty good defensive technique.
Why would you need
Judo
to
chop.
learn that and not just know it from your
Well,
childhood?
apparently in Yakuza logic, you just punch guys in the face. So kicking people in the nuts isn't something in
You
your
can
head at that
attack
point.
below the belt?
Do you do the Johnny Cage where you do the splits and then bang?
No, you just straight up back kick them in the nuts.
Yeah, that would...
Oh, boy.
That's both awesome and painful to think about.
The donkey kick is hard.
Yeah.
So to get it in the testes is...
Testy kick.
Otherwise, the other thing that I've been doing, I don't know how long it's been in early access, but I started messing with the Dragon Quest to the Stars or At the Stars mobile game that just got put
Oh,
in early
yeah,
access.
okay.
You're playing a mobile game?
Yeah.
I always do something on the go. It's just more along the lines of I don't spend a lot of time with it. I'll
Yeah.
spend like 15, 30 minutes. Like I play Mario Kart before I go to bed every night. Like I basically just pop in, like do 2 or 3 races and then I'm done. Dragon Quest it's cute.
Chris
Like
will
it's
not talk about Mario Kart last week at all.
it's very bare bones. Like it's not gonna stop hitting that fucking straw. It's not gonna do anything too crazy. Honestly, it's you did that on purpose.
That was on purpose. I saw it.
So it's very bare bones. Like if you're expecting anything crazy out of it, you're not getting much. It gives you 3 characters to customize. It starts you off, at least in this early access point, it starts you off with more than enough space to get a couple of really good weapons and armor. So that way you start off, not empty-handed. Obviously, microtransactions are like a motherfucker, but it's a mobile game, and I have no problem playing games for free because it's actually not that hard, people. But that's a whole nother conversation.
Well, the only thing is like I only play puzzle games on mobile. I don't really play games that are quite in time consuming or investing. It's more like, am I hungry or am I just bored? So I'll play like that's actually a really it's known to be a weight loss tip that if you feel you're hungry, play Tetris or play a small game for just a few minutes, because then it'll take your mind off your quote unquote hunger, and after you're done, you're like, oh, actually, I wasn't hungry. I was just bored.
You hear that? Video games help you lose weight. It's
Ring
true.
Fit Adventure.
Don't mind that South Park episode about World of Warcraft. That's fake news.
That's a different video
fake
game.
news.
Fake
MMOs are different.
Anyways, Vish, what have you been up to?
So I started watching the show on Netflix called Daybreak. It's a campy, just fun zombie apocalypse.
I was
going
gonna say the second you said the title, I'm like, if that's not zombies, they fucked
Yeah,
up.
it has to be that or
Yeah.
some sort of horror film
So it's
based show.
It's just a fun show. It's mainly teenagers. It's what you would expect out of it. If you've seen the trailer for the show, it's what you would expect out of it. And it's just a fun time waster, essentially, to watch. And that's the only thing this week I've been really doing. I've just been really busy with a lot of stuff. And I'm still trying to find time to play Tomb Raider. I'm pretty deep into it, but Chris has actually caught up to me.
I've passed him.
And yeah, he may have actually passed me in Tomb Raider. We were talking about a puzzle with lights, and
Yeah.
Chris can tell you what a rage-inducing controller.
Rage-inducing puzzles in a third-person game, impossible.
Oh, this one was, it's the stereotypical using mirrors to move light
we
around
learned
a
that
room.
since Ocarina of Time existed, that there's always one puzzle
Always
in every
a
one of those
mirror.
adventure
It
games.
wasn't a water temple level rage-inducing.
No, but
But there was
set
water
the
in it.
standard.
that is true.
Yeah.
It set the standard. You
Yeah.
know
So
that
so I remember when I played Ocarina of Time the first time ever, it was on my DS because I never had an N64, and with Ocarina of Time, I knew Water Temple was one of the 7 layers of hell. So I decided I don't want to ruin the game or break my DS, so I YouTubed a lot of it and just to see how to do things.
Cheater.
Yes, I'm
what a
not
loser.
I'm not gonna deny that.
You're supposed to read it in Nintendo Power like a normal person.
Go to GameFAQs, print out a 15-sheet document that describes every little thing around it.
Cheats.cc, best website ever.
Jesus Christ, that fucking...
No, GameFAQs was actually the one that I would use a lot of times. I remember using it for Resident Evil 4 because there's just some parts that by all means is the pinnacle of Resident Evil so far. I still haven't played the Resident Evil 2 remake. I'm looking to buy that on Black Friday.
They're saying it might be game of the year. It looks amazing, and me, who don't even really play Resident Evil, I want it bad.
Well, there was a time you didn't like anything zombie related in general.
Yeah.
Walking Dead changed that, but then Walking Dead...
I was a pussy. Walking Dead eased me in, and now I'm obsessed.
Yes.
This is crazy.
So, Resident Evil 2 was incredible because it was the first game, and I can recall, where you played as two different characters, but you saw a different side to the story. And each story, it's like, okay, this is how. Okay, so what happens here? What did they do the entire? But then when you you finish the game, it's like both stories intertwined together as one really awesome story.
Oh, nice.
And they're both. Neither are overly long or complicated. It's just like you go in, you do it, and that's it. But I will say Resident Evil 1, where you did play as either Chris or Jill. Not this Chris.
Less Jin.
Yes. I would say
This is
Chris had a better game than Jill did.
Oh, yeah, they played different?
There was, Jill had a grenade thrower, where Chris's most powerful weapon besides the Magnum or the rocket launcher
Punching a rock.
was a... Okay, so the way...
He knows exactly what I'm talking about. Chris knows exactly what I'm talking about.
Which one's this?
Resident Evil 5, literally one of the final bosses, you're in an active volcano, so somehow you're not dying
no,
from your heat.
I've played Resident Evil 5.
Yeah.
You're Wesker is like a lava.
Yeah, and you just keep punching a rock to try to push it over. It's like, yeah, that works.
The
Put your body against it.
Resident Evil 6 was just a new level of awful.
Yeah.
It was just the game just looked incomplete.
I remember playing the demo and even going, this is bad.
I am glad they turned it around for Resident Evil 7.
Well, yeah, because they realized maybe we should stop trying to be an action game.
Well,
Yeah.
I don't know. It'd be an action game because honestly, I will say there's very few, like when Adam Trump was mentioning it last week about Hereditary, how I read the synopsis and I was terrified reading the synopsis. I'm like, I'm not going to watch this movie.
Yeah, but you weren't terrified of playing a Resident Evil game.
No, but
especially not
Resident
in the day of
Evil
it being an action game.
I will argue that most horror games and movies are essentially action movies. Because if you look at Freddy vs. Jason, it's a terrible movie.
That is a terrible movie.
It's supposed to be a horror movie. I'm quoting.
Yeah, but if you're talking good horror movies, they're not going to be action movies.
Like Saw. Blair Witch.
Saw 1.
Yeah, Saw 1. We're not talking the whole franchise.
But anyway, so
Blair
we're
Witch
going
was
on
just-
way.
We
on the side
are
here.
somewhere. We are in Halloween,
I was
though.
doing something else. I
But
forgot what
definitely
it was. But gonna pass it off to the Jen and Chris.
It's like 2.5 Men. It's like if you can't remember it, it wasn't important.
Yeah.
We're just not leaving a kid out in the rain while he's playing soccer, though.
No, don't do that.
that Homer did that to Bart.
Yeah,
Bart.
So, anyways, Chris, what have you been up to?
So, for the first time in a long time, I've had nothing to play on Switch just because I'm trying to get through my backlog, and I beat Link to the Past, which was an amazing game. And
Where would you rate it amongst the Zeldas?
well, I mean, it is a much older game, and it is the 2D versus 3D, so like it's very different.
No,
like,
but I mean, like, it doesn't mean like it's a game that's from what I hear, it's
So hard though,
timeless.
because I mean, subjectively, like it's why I try not to do like these are the 5 best of these games anymore, because it's like, dude, like I'm gonna go with the ones that I grew up with because you're gonna have better thoughts about it then,
Well,
because you
that's
weren't
the thing.
jaded like we are now.
Yeah.
As gamers, we're all jaded to this bullshit.
Well, the thing is, like I said, for me, my favorite game of all time is going to be Mario 3, probably till the day I die.
And in
So-
actuality, when you probably really think about it, if you played Mario 3 today, you probably wouldn't be nearly as psyched about it as if you say
I
played.
don't know, man. It's
Well, no,
pretty
but-
timeless gameplay.
Yeah, but that may not be the case though in your mind when you're 30 playing it for the first time. When the first game that you ever remember playing was the new Tomb Raider, like the original reboot, or Uncharted. Like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, you may have different thoughts going in.
an 11-year-old right now playing Fortnite, going back and playing Super Mario Brothers 3 on original NES, they may think, ew, what's with these graphics?
Because I mean, look, like when I say The Expanse is one of my favorite shows, period. Now that means something because it's new and it's fresh in my head. Whereas it had to trump a lot of stuff to get above it. Whereas it's really hard to like. If I tried to tell you that there is a game that I've been playing in the last 5 years that I would say is my favorite game ever, it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
It just isn't.
Do you have a favorite game ever?
Yeah, it's Final Fantasy X.
Oh, okay.
That is a good one.
And I
It's
mean,
no Chrono Trigger, but it's a good one.
which is funny though because I don't even think it's the best Final Fantasy. It's just
No,
there's a
it's
difference
definitely not.
between like favorite and best are two different things to me. That's the other
Yes.
thing too that people
Yes.
don't distinguish that I don't like because they look at saying like, oh, this is the best one ever. I'm like, yeah, but is it? Or do you just have the better memories from it?
Well, luckily, when I played Link to the Past, it was the first time I was ever playing it. Now, I've obviously played a ton of Zelda games, but it was my first time playing through that one. So I didn't have too much, like, I didn't have any nostalgia for it, really. Basing, like, Vishal, your question was, how does it rank, I guess, with the Zeldas and being the best? if I was going to say like comparative with everything, so not just like is it my favorite as you're saying, Adam, but like, you know, is it actually, where does it hold up in the Zeldas? I would still put it in like the top 4 because it is really, really, really great. Like,
would Ocarina of Time still be number 1?
No, Breath of the Wild would be number 1 just by default because it's like Ocarina of Time 15.0. Like, it's just the best.
Everything
Zelda
about
game.
Ocarina of Time that was good is there. Everything that is bad, what was that?
Yeah.
What?
Whatever
No,
little
gone.
things there were,
Shoot.
yeah, they're gone. Yeah, there is nothing bad left for it. I mean, there is a lot less. Well, I guess there is still the same amount of story, but it's less linear, so the story feels a little different in Breath of the Wild. But I would still put A Link to the Past, honestly, maybe even in 3rd.
So Breath of the Wild, then Ocarina?
Yeah, I'd probably put Ocarina as number 2 and then Link to the Past number 3.
Really? You're not even putting Spirit Tracks in top 3?
I do not. No. Good God, no Spirit
Are these
Tracks.
the CD games?
No, it's where Link gets a fucking train. It makes no sense. He finds a ghost train and rides it between different things. And you use the stylus on the DS to get there or some shit.
It's pretty bad.
I looked at it and I said, no thank you.
I never
That's
knew
what
this
I did.
existed.
It's on the
and
original
I hate
DS.
you both
You're
for letting
welcome.
me know about this.
And it's Toon Link too.
You're
And
welcome.
I'm not a Toon Link fan.
Okay.
I can't do
You know
it.
what it is? I don't know. I thought that Wind Waker was just a bad game in general.
Yeah, I didn't like Wind Waker. Never
I
finished it.
actually really like it, but it's because it's something that you can look between that and say a Twilight Princess, and you can see the difference.
Yeah.
So you can appreciate one over the other.
Yeah.
I don't really find like it's not like the formula really changed that much. I guess a lot of people were put off by the look.
Yeah.
Especially when it first got announced, people like shat on it because of the look.
I didn't
Yeah.
like also the boat thing.
I just didn't like the boat.
Oh
thing.
yeah, no, for sure. Like
That was my thing.
and I played
will
I
also
played
note-
on the Wii U. I didn't play on the GameCube.
Yeah, no,
so
I didn't
have
play
to
the
deal with
GameCube
that.
version better, so the Wii U boat was definitely a lot more improved. It was not nearly as
Yeah.
long.
Breath of the Wild, they fixed that with fast travel points.
Yeah.
Hell's yes. So good. But what I've really been playing since I finished A Link to the Past like a week ago is, as me and Vishal have both been playing, Shadow of the Tomb Raider. I am much further ahead now. I may have binged it a couple of many tens of
that's
hours in the last couple days.
It's it gets addicting though.
You asked me yesterday what percentage I was at for completion, and it
Yeah.
was 60. I'm at 93% as of today.
So you're near done.
Fuck.
I am very close to the end, but I also spent a lot of time doing all the, like, I love 100%ing these games, just the collection stuff. I didn't even realize I got the deluxe edition that came with the season's pass, so I was like, oh, this tomb's available for
So
you, and I'd go and do
you're
it.
even way further than I am.
didn't even
in
realize
general.
a bunch of the tombs I've done were DLC. I did 5 out of 7 of the DLC tombs, and I just thought they were side quests in the game itself. So that speaks at least well to the DLC in this game, in the sense that it actually just fits.
Yeah.
Right?
Well,
But
though-
it is a beautiful game. I love it. I can't wait to finish
I bought the game way too soon. I bought it like during holiday season when it was really cheap. It was $40 for the game, and when it was like regularly 90, but then 80. Sorry.
Yep.
And I just waited. I got it too soon. I thought I'd be able to play it sooner than I expected, but I didn't.
Yep. Yeah, that
So-
happens to me with my 400 unplayed backlog
That's
games.
what you get for using Humble Bundle.
Yeah, it's all Humble Bundle. I signed up for an entire year for the Humble Monthly, and that killed me. I was getting like 7 games a month, and I could not finish 7 games a month. It was just not happening. Not happening. Anyways, that's what I've been playing.
So, anyways, we're gonna get into a couple of quick bits here. Well, some quickies, if you will.
Some quickies. I love that you actually also told us through text today, here's some quickies.
Yeah.
And then listed them.
Well, I mean, it's
I
something
love
we've
that.
been talking
How long are these quickies gonna take?
quick time.
A long time. So a couple of things that are not too notable, but things that I think would interest a few people at the desk. Right
Yeah.
away for Chris, Death Stranding is going to be coming to PC. Woo-hoo! So you can have the pleasure of not knowing what the fuck you're playing like the rest of us.
Well, I'm getting it like 6 months after everyone else,
It's,
which don't get me wrong, I'm glad with.
Yeah, but I
because of my
guarantee you that-
backlog,
Death Stranding
but-
is made by Konami, right?
That's
No,
Kojima.
No, Kojima after he left Konami.
Oh, okay.
So this is post Metal Gear Solid Kojima.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, 6 months from now, you'll have the pleasure of playing a game that people still probably haven't figured out by 6 months in.
Yeah, I'm going to have to just avoid the internet for 6 months. I
don't
haven't
know if
tried.
they're
Is
gonna-
that hard?
well, the thing. I don't. For gaming, I don't think it's that difficult.
I check gaming news 3 times a day.
Okay,
I say it's research
then
for this
It
I-
really
podcast, but
depends.
it's my addiction.
It really does depend on where you go. I mean, you can avoid most stuff if you just stay away from like the main channels of like Reddit and stuff, but it's a matter of whether or not you specifically hit very select subreddits that are going to
Yeah.
do that
I'll
stuff.
be fine on Reddit. It'll be more the RSS feed I've got going on with all my video game news. I just won't click on the ones that say Death Stranding ending explained. I won't click on those.
Yeah, don't click on whatever Game Theory puts out for it.
Yeah.
Or it could be
YouTube,
like
I gotta avoid that.
it could be like Metal Gear Solid 2 ending explained. It still doesn't make any sense.
That's true. That is
Yeah, I
true.
mean, nothing ever really does make sense these days to begin with. So
Especially
it's not really that
anything
much of a
Kojima does.
change.
Kojima is confusing. I don't even think he knows the story of Metal Gear Solid to this point. Maybe the first game, but after that he got confused and was like, yeah.
He's just Raiden's naked.
Yeah. Just like throwing some confusion. And when
And
they
he's
ask what
not
it means,
shooting
don't
lightning.
answer. This is true. He wasn't.
Exactly.
So next thing up, this is obviously something Vish should be very interested in. So the new Arkham game that is apparently going to be
Yes.
coming out. It's not just going to be Batman you're playing as.
Yeah, it's the Bat family.
Okay,
Come on, 60s
essentially, okay, is it like going to be like a Spider-Verse type thing where they go back in time or anything? Or is it just going to be you get to play as Nightwing, Robin, Catwoman?
I've heard it's going to be possibly like a Batman Beyond thing. Some people are speculating where Batman's teaching younger generation people.
No, it's like Watch Dogs Legion. You just recruit 50
Yeah.
different Robins.
Yeah,
You
it's
have
just
old
DC
lady Robin.
Heroes, the universe, the game.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
I think it'll be like...
I think
Robin and stuff.
because I thought that was a cool thing in Arkham Knight where you got to play as Tim Drake, you got to play as Nightwing, you got to play as Catwoman, like you have to play as different, and during mid battle too, you could switch between them. I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
But I'm wondering if it's gonna be a game where you're a different character per different plot point.
Well, they'll have like several missions that split off, I would
Yeah,
imagine.
I think it'll be you'll go
Which
to
is
a
going to
mission
make more
and it'll
sense.
make you be a specific person.
I wouldn't want them to have an Arkham game where you can switch every character constantly, because then it just becomes like like a beat 'em up, like a Marvel Ultimate Alliance would be at that point.
Yeah.
I would rather them focus on the story because that's what made the Arkham game so good in the first place.
I think it'll be that the side quests you can go up to, like they'll probably be like little waypoints or something. When you go to a waypoint, you can switch characters and go to a side quest, but the main story quest will make you be a specific person.
Is this going to be a reboot of the series?
I
Because
don't know.
Probably not.
I don't think it will be.
because how is it going to work now with the ending of Arkham Knight?
I don't think you'll be able to play as Bruce Wayne Batman. I think they're not going to have him, or it'll be like old Batman.
It wouldn't be surprising, based on the title being Legacy as well. It makes it seem like it's probably going to be a much more in the future, like old Batman sort of deal. So you might
I'm
see
thinking it
something
might
more
be
like that.
Well, they got the Court of Owls, which is a cult-like mob, for lack of a better, like, I don't even know how to describe.
I definitely know nothing about the Court of Owls.
There was a
Are they actual
There was an
owls?
animated
No.
Batman movie. I think it's on Netflix
out.
still, called Batman versus Robin, and they had the Court of Owls there. It doesn't make a lot of sense in general. It was
Okay.
just like, what the fuck is this shit? And it just the Court of Owls is just, there's a guy named Talon who's kind of cool. He's like he's like Batman almost. I don't even, to be entirely honest, I don't even know how to describe this shit.
Does he have talons, or is it just he's using?
He's wearing
play
an
on
owl-esque Batman type costume with
Okay.
like blades, which are wing shaped,
Nice. Okay.
with throwing knives.
Okay.
So
I mean, it could work. They made a bunch of stuff.
Yeah,
with the
I
previous
know.
ones. I think it'll be the same as the previous Arkham games with slightly better graphics, maybe a little bit of quality of life changes. But other
honestly,
than that, it'll probably be just
who
the
I
next
think
game.
they should have done, and I mentioned this villain several times before because he's just never done justice. Besides Teen Titans, is Deathstroke.
As a villain,
Yes.
was he in Arkham City?
He was.
If they
He
were,
was like a
it was
side
like
quest.
it was like one of the side.
one of the
villains
side
that's like a
quests.
side
No,
mission.
no, he was in Arkham Knight, but as a like I said, as a side mission,
Okay.
and he was actually in Arkham Origins, the Black Sheep of the Arkham series.
That's the only one I haven't played yet. I
Same.
own it, but I haven't
I
played
heard
it yet.
so many bad things about it. I just never.
It's
touched
not terrible. It's
It's a Batman game. It's like pizza. Even a bad pizza is still pizza.
yeah. It's still.
Are you saying that about pizza? or
It did
Batman?
have a great storyline. It had a really good.
I will
storyline.
fight you over pizza. Still got a good storyline. Joker's in it
Dude.
though, right?
I want pizza now.
Yeah, I want pizza
Well,
too.
too bad.
Fine, we'll get wings after.
Fuck you. Okay, fine. Okay, shit.
Yeah, we pulled his leg. The other little quick thing here is that EA games are actually going to start coming to Steam again.
Yeah, they've already
Which
got the
is
pre-order up for Jedi
strange.
Fallen Order.
That's going to be very strange, I think.
I did like the way that EA teased it. They put a coffee mug with steam coming out of it, just that GIF, and put it on Twitter with like eyes looking at it like, eh? And everyone was like, what's happening? And then someone's like, steam's coming out of the cup. And I'm like, is that reaching? I feel like that's reaching. It's just a coffee mug. And then the next day, Steam is coming to EA's come back to Steam. I was like, oh, wow.
I mean, at this point, you have to imagine the only reason for it is maybe Origin sales are down.
I think Origin sales are down.
Okay, but isn't EA already on like with NHL, NBA, and Madden?
It's not on Steam. They removed themselves from
haven't?
Steam to start their own PC store.
Oh,
So it's another
It's
launcher.
like, yeah,
so-
if you're a PC user, the only way you're playing EA games is through their own system.
Yeah, something annoying on PC is there is Origin, there's Uplay, there's Epic, there's Steam, there's Blizzard, Activision, and now Rockstar came out with their own one too.
Yeah.
So you have like 6 or 7 launchers that all pop up right when you turn on your computer.
And this is why I'm glad I don't play on PC.
I am, but I just avoid all the other. I have 400 games in my backlog.
Yeah, you're fine.
And Ubisoft did it best, and I have a great respect for
what
them.
game were we talking? Oh yeah, Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah, Red Dead Redemption's coming, but it's coming out first on the Rockstar store because they made it. Then it's coming out on Epic a couple weeks later, and then it's coming out on Steam a couple weeks later.
I mean, as long as it gets out there, who gives a fuck, really?
Yeah. If I can, the thing is, I use Steam with a controller, and I do the big picture mode, which none of the other ones use, because I want to use my computer as a console. Like, if I was going to have a computer I use as a computer, I'd get a laptop. Like, I'm not going to use it as my home PC hooked up to my TV. But a good thing with Steam is you can like take the game and add it to Steam. So you can add a non-Steam game. You can add Internet Explorer, launch it in Steam with the controller, and it actually just opens Internet Explorer like it's a game. So you can, like, I do this with Blizzard if I'm going to play StarCraft or something.
Is it like
I've got
when a
link
Mac
right in
has Windows and you open up Windows like it's an alternate program?
Oh no, in Steam you just add it as like you can, when you buy a game it's automatically added to your library. You can add games to your library manually, but you just add an .exe file. And you can add any .exe file. To test it, I actually took Microsoft Word and launched it out of Steam, and it just launches it like, and then it says now playing Microsoft Word.
That game is terrible.
Yeah, it is. So what I did is I took like the
Unless
EXE.
you played in Comic Sans.
Yeah, Comic Sans, that's the best one. Yeah, what I do is I took like StarCraft.exe, added it to Steam, and then you launch it right from Steam, and it still launches like the Blizzard store, but then when you exit the game, it exits that launcher. It is annoying, but I mean, I just avoid most of the other launchers just to not have the confusion. And Ubisoft is still on Steam, and now that EA is coming back, I can finally play through Mass Effect 3 if they add it, because I still have never.
Is Mass Effect a strategy game?
No, it is a
Choose your own adventure.
It's basically like
open
not
world?
really, well, sort of open world, but it's more like a third person, just action adventure, like RPG.
Yeah, I'd say
okay.
yeah, action adventure RPG.
Like, do you remember like Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic?
I never played those.
I love that.
This
I'm not a big Star
uncultured
Wars
swine.
fan. I'm not a big Star Wars fan.
Yeah, we know you like The Last Jedi.
Exactly.
Oh.
I'm trying to think what else they would have done. Dragon Age is the only other one, and well, they're the ones that did Anthem, but that's post a good BioWare.
Yeah. They got Apex Legends. That actually looks like a fun, like battle royale kind of game, and I think it's free to play.
Yeah. So, speaking of a company that's post its good games.
For the record, I'm not familiar with this next topic.
That's
You will
okay.
be.
We're about to teach you.
Yeah.
You're about to learn the. You seem to stay away from the gaming news, so you get to avoid some of this shit.
Yeah, the
we're about
drama.
to school you, son.
Yeah. Oh yeah, this is a good one.
So-
this is real good.
A year ago, Fallout 76 came out.
Yep.
Fallout 76 takes the Fallout format, but takes it into an online multiplayer form. So it's very much trying to do what Destiny does, what Anthem was trying to do and failed miserably at.
Which everybody was quite excited about when it was first announced.
I wasn't.
Multiplayer
It,
Fallout.
it looked like Rust to me.
Oh, I didn't look at any videos, and I haven't played Rust, so.
So
that
to me,
probably
I'm
helps.
just like, okay, so it's going to be relatively boring. Okay, fine. Sure enough, when it
Is
comes
Rust
out,
a game or are you talking about?
it's
an
a
open
small like
sandbox.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Not good.
So it came out. It was a buggy mess.
It was a terrible, terrible mess.
Okay, so there's been a pinnacle created recently of buggy mess, which is WWE 20.
Okay, not that level.
No,
Nothing is that level.
Yeah, it's not that buggy. That game is just
WWE
not made.
WWE
properly.
2K20 is what happens like in Tropic Thunder when you go full retard.
Yes, that game.
When
went
I saw
bad.
the video on IGN, I was like,
Yeah, it's that bad.
I've seen some really funny videos. People have made it glitch out, and it just looks
Some people are joking
so
that
funny.
if they don't want it patched, or if they're going to patch it, release a second form of it so they can play with all the stupidity of it.
Yeah. They should just call it WWE
there was
2K20
there was one
hard
match
mode.
where someone was playing and it looked like the guy was having a seizure. in
Oh,
the
and if
ring.
you go
They
into the
always
ropes,
do.
just cause seizures apparently in that
Yeah,
game.
don't touch the ropes.
But anyways, so 76 came out as a bit of a mess.
Yeah.
It was pretty
Yeah.
empty. There's basically no NPCs to speak of in there.
No.
A lot of stuff, and it also the end bosses were literally copy and paste dragons from the Skyrim game. That's not even a joke.
Oh, I didn't know that part.
The final
Oh, that's
bosses are
fantastic.
basically copy and pasted Skyrim dragons.
That
Are
doesn't
they
even make sense.
repainted or something?
Slightly, yes.
There's no dragons in
Okay.
Fallout. It's
like
what
they
happens
basically
to
have the
just
same
normal
attack
Earth after-
patterns. They do the same kind of movesets. Like everything's
That's
similar.
crazy. I did not know that. I did not know that. That is actually crazy.
So,
Dragons in Fallout.
For almost a full year, that game has been out, and
Yeah.
obviously, people have not really been playing it.
No.
It's
I've
just-
heard they've made some quality of life improvements, and it is better. Like there's more NPCs and stuff.
Well,
now.
if they did, they kind of erased all that.
Yeah, they
goodwill.
definitely fucked up recently. though.
So they were supposed to, by the end of this year, have a DLC called the Wastelanders DLC, which was going to put in one of the biggest, most revolutionary things in a video game ever, NPCs.
Yep.
That was a big thing.
Yep.
So the whole intent was to essentially populate the fucking game because it's an empty wasteland, which
Yeah.
I suppose if it's a Fallout game would make sense,
Okay,
but
so
it's
is
beyond
it-
empty.
Is it like almost that when you're playing games like, I'm going to use layman's examples, Twilight Princess, that where Link is riding through the field, there's like nothing.
Unless you're
I
playing
mean,
with
that's
people,
how
it's
empty it
pretty
was.
desolate. Like
Yeah.
other than enemies, it's desolate.
It's an open space where you can build a base, and basically it's kind of like you can befriend other players who are playing, slightly MMO-like, but I don't think it was supposed to have like hundreds and hundreds of people on the same server. But you'd go in and there'd be like 10 or however many other
Dude,
people
your
playing the
mic
same game.
your mic light is like highlighting Adam's apple.
Oh,
big
nice.
time.
Nice.
It's like,
Are you-
boom, my Adam's apple.
are you like just transforming?
I am.
Are you
This is
become-
not even my final form.
Ah,
Wait, is the light coming from within or in?
Yeah, I'm actually powering the mic through my voice.
okay.
I got
that
one of
makes a
those
lot of
mics.
sense.
Yeah, they're crazy.
But yeah, the Wastelanders DLC was supposed
Yeah.
to be out this year. They delayed it to 2020, saying
did.
they needed time to polish it up and get it ready.
Yep.
Everybody was not too happy about that, but I mean, if they're doing it to make the game, to make it better when it becomes launched, fine, you take that as it is. Like a lot of games get delayed, you just hope it gets fixed properly.
Unlike Arkham Knight for PC.
6
I got
days
fixed
later,
in the end, a long time
6 days later,
Yeah.
Bethesda makes another announcement. One that starts immediately. Fallout First, which is a monthly subscription or a yearly subscription if you're that much of a sucker, where you pay $12.99 a month or $99 a year for the following things on top of getting the game. Because you already have bought the game, so Fallout First is now a subscription service
This should be
for
good.
the game.
Yeah.
So this is what's listed. Private servers that you can play with up to 7 of your friends with only an invite, and they don't need the service. Just one person has to have the service who runs the server. Okay. A storage box that has an unlimited storage capacity. A fast travel marker that you can place wherever you want. A monthly allowance of in-game currency, which is 1,650 atoms, as well as things like emotes, avatars, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, which
Now
is so
tell me,
important.
by me listing those things off, do you think that's worth $13 US a month?
No, especially since other games have private servers
World of
for
Warcraft
free.
and Final Fantasy XIV are worth about the same price monthly, and you know what you get with that? The entire game.
Yes, with like tens
You
of
know what
thousands
else
of people.
you get for paying this monthly price? PlayStation Plus. Xbox games with gold.
You'd actually get both.
You actually get the ability to play multiple games online, as well as 2 free games every month, as well as discounts on the store.
What
Yeah.
they're basically trying to do is start a different subscription service for one game only.
It's
Yes.
more expensive than Xbox Game Pass, which is literally a Netflix for games and has new games on it, like the Outer Worlds.
PlayStation Now and Xbox Game
Yeah.
Pass, you could literally pay the same price for, and you'll have streaming access to an infinite number of games on the library.
And they're slightly cheaper than the
Actually,
Fallout
quick,
price if you do
this
the
is a
monthly.
stupid question, most likely. With PlayStation Now, while you're streaming the game, you do get to save your progress, right?
No,
Of course, you get
I
to
almost
save
had
your
it there,
progress.
didn't I?
Yes,
Yeah,
it
you-
saves and it
Okay.
saves to your PlayStation, and I
it's-
think it
it's
saves
cloud
over the
storage.
cloud. Yeah, it's
Oh,
cloud
this
storage.
reminds me of a service Blockbuster had before Blockbuster, died. It was about $30 a month, but unlimited game rentals. So you could pretty much get like...
I don't know if I could play that many games.
No, but you could like get a brand new game like Uncharted 2.
Just play it till it's done.
Play it till it's done,
Pick up
return it,
another
and then
game.
pick... Yeah, exactly.
Which...
Yeah, but it's only like it was like $6 to rent a game for I think 3 or 4 days, right?
So it just depends on how often
yeah, you'd
you
have
think
to
you
play
can finish
games
them.
consistently to make
It just means you don't have to stress over finishing things in the time limit.
Yeah, the thing is though, it definitely was worth it because if you pay like $70 for a game, and then you were able to rent it, you could finish it like that. I did that for Heavy Rain, Uncharted 2, Assassin's Creed, the second one that came out.
Assassin's Creed 2.
Quite a bit of games I used it for, and it was a really good service. And that's why I look at PlayStation now. It's like, you know what? This is like 5 months. I bought one game, and I could probably finish maybe 6 games in that time period. Because some games are, for example, I'll go old school. The original Metal Gear Solid, while it's a great game, was it really worth buying that game?
Yes.
It depends on how you feel about it. I mean,
Super Mario Brothers 3 was $70, I think.
I mean, to be fair, most games that we grew up with, you can finish in hours.
Yeah, that's why old games were so hard. They were trying to make it so that you had to replay it so much to feel like you got your money's worth.
I get that, but Metal Gear Solid... Oh, my apologies. I've had a long day. Metal Gear Solid itself was a great game, but it was... You could finish in a weekend like that. And granted, we were in high school and we didn't have adult responsibilities, but it was more of a... It was like known as the ultimate rental,
but
rather than actually purchasing.
Here's my question. Does that matter if the game is high-tier quality?
Yeah.
The time really only matters if you're Heavenly Sword, where you're 4 hours and a piece of shit beat 'em up.
I think back then there wasn't many games that lasted more than like 15, 20
Like, if
hours.
you wanted to play a game that was going to take you 30 plus, you're playing Final Fantasy. You're playing anything
only
Square.
Final You'd have to play RPGs.
Games are longer now.
Well, they have to be.
Now.
They have to be.
Because you get your money's worth.
Not even that. It's just because people expect that quality now.
Yeah, and a lot of these longer games now have a lot of DLC or subscription services like friggin' Fallout.
Yes, thank you for putting us back on track there.
Sorry, my bad.
No.
So, yeah, this service comes out, and comparably, it just makes 0 sense to pay the price.
$100 a year?
But naturally...
Just to play the same game you already had, but on a private server.
And people defended it, because they do, because fanatics are what they are.
Freaking fanatics.
Idiots,
yeah.
The service launches. Where do I start?
Do
you want me to start with the funniest part first?
Yes,
obviously.
please.
You could have trouble actually buying the service.
What?
They don't want your money.
When you in some cases when people were trying to buy the service, it would not let them.
Oh,
that should have been your first sign.
Yeah, that's not good.
So let's go.
Bethesda, you used to be a golden god of game.
So let's go through that list again.
Yeah.
Of all the things that I told you guys, starting from the bottom up.
Wait, do the emotes
started from the bottom?
So the emotes and the shut up, Drake. So the emotes and avatars don't matter.
They matter to me.
They don't matter.
No, they don't matter. I didn't even know you could talk to people with emotes.
I didn't mention this. It came with a special skin, which is the iconic Ranger skin. Everybody hates it because it's not even remotely close to what the thing is supposed to be in terms of quality, and it is an iconic
And now you can
suit.
tell everyone in the game who paid the $100.
Yep.
Ooh, kill him.
So it wasn't that great. Now we get to the fun stuff. So the currency that you get every month, the allowance of 1,650 atoms. Here's the fun part. So, for example, the power armor skin that is the Vault-Tec skin, which, let's be honest, is a blue power armor skin that just says Vault-Tec on it.
Of course.
That's it.
Yep.
That's worth 1,850 atoms. So even a monthly allowance can't even buy you a blue skin for a power armor. So the atoms are mostly
free in Fallout
useless. 4. So the atoms are basically useless unless you pay more money.
This is
atoms are the currency within Fallout,
yes.
correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Atoms like atomic bomb atoms.
So rupees.
Now we get to
the rupees. Yes.
Now we get to the fun stuff. So the survival tent, which is the fast travel point, that works just fine. So thank God they can do that right.
Good, a fast travel point. I'm glad that's worth $100, not free, in a game where it should be free.
The private servers are not private.
What?
So technically, they are private.
So you can have people joining in on the server randomly.
If they are on your friends list, they can join whether you want them to or not.
Oh, if they're on your
So
friends
it's not an
list.
invite-only basis. It's if they're on your friends list. Like, say it's people you hang out with for other things, but you just don't want to chill with them.
Yeah.
If they know you're online, they can join no matter what the fuck you do.
So
you
if
gotta
me and
remove them from
Chris,
your friends list.
Chris wanted to play, and you could just pop in anytime you want.
Yeah, if you guys didn't want me there, I can pop in.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna do that, are we?
And even better, the private servers aren't new. So people are logging onto these servers and finding NPCs already dead. They're finding loot already taken from things.
Ooh.
Stuff is missing. So what these private servers actually are already previously used instances of the world.
That's like buying used underwear.
I don't know. Does it smell good?
Clearly not.
To both of you, I'm going to just say, ew.
But yeah, that doesn't work. And then the best part of all, that infinite storage box that lets you put everything in there possibly that you can, so you don't have to ever worry about backpack carrying because you can get too much weight and be slowed down. So if you log out and log back in, there's a very good chance that box eats all your shit and you cannot get it back.
Oh, so good. Oh, Bethesda, you're so
And
good.
Bethesda's tried to claim that actually that wasn't the problem. They could find it. And then eventually they came clean and said, oh yeah, we have no idea what the fuck happened to it. It's gone.
So you could, the storage box, you could put some shit in there.
You
like
could put
weapons.
some really, really valuable shit. Or let's say 1,000 of this really useful material that you want to use for building shit. Gone.
Actually, this is reminding me of something from Wreck-It Ralph Breaks the Internet. That was the other thing I wanted to mention. So it was a thing where people, Ralph, he got played by a pop-up ad that was in the internet. They managed to go into the internet where there's a thing where people will get gaming upgrades, such as a certain car or weapon that's difficult to get, and they'll auction it off online. And this is reminding me of that, where someone is trying to get a high-end weapon or high-end equipment, put it in their box to store, but then it's like,
It's gone.
where to go?
Imagine you use the currency you get from the subscription service to buy something great, put it in the box, and then Bethesda just eats it.
Yep.
So that's just them taking your money for the sake of taking your money.
Yep. So it's very obvious
This is
that
why I don't play online.
Bethesda has clearly
Fucked up. I'm going to say it. They
not even
fucked
that
up.
is they delayed a product for quality control, or at least that's what we thought. It seems more like they pushed something away so that they could rush money in.
Yeah. Oh, this game. Oh, I've never played it, and I
And
will never play it.
this now puts me to the point that I am now this close to putting a third company on my I'm never buying from you list.
Ooh, Bethesda's close, eh?
Who is okay,
EA
yeah.
is already on there.
Oh, yeah.
And Activision Blizzard, since this China thing, I'm fucking done.
All
It
right,
doesn't
okay.
affect me that much personally because it basically means I'm just not buying Call of Duty or whatever Blizzard pumps out, which mostly isn't stuff for me anyway.
Yeah, unless you want like StarCraft.
Bethesda could be a tough one.
It will
What's on Bethesda?
Doom,
be. Elder Scrolls 6.
Elder Scrolls,
Doom.
Ghostwire
Wolfenstein.
Tokyo that was advertised to us.
Yeah,
There was also Deathloop, which was also advertised at E3.
Nintendo, please don't do this to me.
Nintendo will find a way. They just fuck you in terms of never lowering their prices.
Yeah, Nintendo has just put out, which I mean, I can't be mad at them in the sense that every time their games come out, I've never had it where
You know
there's
it's high quality.
Yeah, it's a
Yes,
high quality
that's the
product.
thing.
It
But
holds
goddamn
its value,
Nintendo,
but-
how do you expect me to want to buy a Switch when if I buy one, I know I'm going to have to pay full price for Fire Emblem? It's bullshit.
I can't lie, that's
Black
the next
Friday.
game I'm going to buy for Switch, and I'm trying really hard to wait till at least Black Friday, and even then it's like, but get through
Well,
the
the only
backlog.
game
Yeah,
I
you know what Black
plan-
Friday will be? It'll be $10 off.
Or they'll do that Nintendo voucher again, where it's like, buy 2 games for like
The only game I plan
$120.
to buy on Black Friday is Smash Brothers.
Yeah, I have the Pokemon game on Switch, and I've got Fire Emblem on Switch, and I want them both. And if they come up with a voucher on Black Friday for both games or do something, I'm probably going to buy both.
I think you should.
I probably will.
All right. So, last order of business, the question of the day, so to speak. It is Halloween today as we are recording. One of us is in costume. The rest of us apparently didn't give a fuck.
Oh, speaking of costume, you wearing that to the bar?
Yeah.
Of course he is.
Okay, awesome.
Of course he is.
I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah.
So here's the question. If you can remember, and I had plenty of time to prepare for this, I'm assuming I gave you guys enough time as well.
Yeah, I got a few.
What are your favorite crossover costs? Like specifically something that, like, because we could just say, oh, this outfit that is just the same character, but it's like a badass leather jacket. That's not the same thing. Something that actually is like a notable change, whether it's making homage to an older game in that series or a completely different
Chris
game.
actually mentioned a really cool one in the game we're playing right now.
Yeah.
Triangle tits.
Yeah.
Yes.
Shadow of the Tomb Raider. They don't have just the old one. You can play as original Triangle Tits PS1 Lara Croft, and it's so weird because I did it for a bit, but like the world around you is still this like beautiful 4K. Like honestly, this game is probably the most beautiful game I've ever seen. Like the amount of effort they put into the look and the graphics.
Wait till you ever get a chance to play Horizon.
Oh yeah. Oh.
I wish that that's a game I wish PC users would get.
I want it. Yeah.
I'm debating between that or God of War.
Do Horizon next because I want to know. I just want to know.
Dude, I can't lend you my PS4 right now because the next 3 games I plan to play are on the PS4.
Yeah, no, you need it.
So we're going to toss things around here. So I'm going to bring up 2 right away because they both fall in the same franchise. So I can't believe that the 2 things I'm starting with all come from a series that I actually don't like.
All right.
And that's the Final Fantasy 13 trilogy of games.
Yes.
So there are 2 in particular.
Final Fantasy 13 has 2 sequels to it.
Yes. Final Fantasy 13,
like Final Fantasy.
Final Fantasy 13 2, and then Final Fantasy 13
3 Lightning Returns.
Lightning Returns. It doesn't even say the 3.
Instead of making 14 and 15.
14 and 15 are just their own things.
Yeah, because each game has nothing to do with each other. Like Final Fantasy 4 and 5, no connection.
It's like what the fuck's it called? When Final Fantasy 7 was making all these side sequels.
Yeah. Yes, and they have side sequels for other games. Like Final Fantasy 10 has Final Fantasy 10 2, which is the Charlie's Angels.
Final Fantasy 12 has Revenant Wings on the DS.
I played through that. It was good. 4
has the After Years, which was done on Wii, and also is now on PC.
Yeah.
But there's stuff like that.
Yeah.
So in Final Fantasy 13 2, there is a bunch of costumes, but the one that just is the most random to me was there's N7 armor from Mass Effect in there.
Yes, there was.
And it's one of the weirdest things. It's like you look at Mass Effect being like this gritty, sci-fi epic, and here it is in this cartoony Final Fantasy game.
Yeah.
It did not fit, but that's why I got it and
also,
I loved it.
Final Fantasy 13 2, Sarah, probably most attractive Final Fantasy character.
Not true.
What? Who?
The one from Final Fantasy 10?
Now that I think
and you can't say a character from Final Fantasy 14 because that's an MMO and you can make them look all you want. I think the default outfit is a schoolgirl.
Regina from Dino Crisis.
Right off the top of my head, Sydney is a pretty good one. Final Fantasy 15. Mechanic Girl.
Goddamn 4K. Yeah, that's true.
Lulu as well. Now that I've gotten older, is looks a lot better than I remember.
Yes. I love that she was the mother of the group and she's like 29 in the game.
Yeah, because that's how Japan works.
She's the work mom.
And then and then 13.2 version of Yuna, because hot pants. I mean, come on.
Oh yeah, hot pants was great.
But otherwise, speaking of Final Fantasy history.
Oh, history.
13.3. I don't care if it's not called that. Lightning Returns. Electric Boogaloo. And they showed it in the trailers because that was the only way that people were going to buy that fucking thing, is that they had a cloud outfit for her.
Oh yeah.
And it was the first time I remember seeing the trailer and they showed that up, it says they know no one's going to buy this fucking game without 7 influence.
That is the only Final Fantasy game I own and I've never installed and played yet. I got it on Steam for $14.
Don't play Dead Rising Final Fantasy Edition.
Oh, now I want to play it.
Dead Rising is awesome.
Yeah, but it's not in Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
It's a JRPG with a time limit, which does not work.
Yeah. Oh, I remember reading about it and it gave me Majora's Mask feels, which was like, oh, I don't like time limits. They stress me out.
So I got some more fun ones, but I'll toss around. So Vish, what do you got?
So I know we're talking about these costumes, and frankly, for me, I think they're the worst DLC imaginable because they're an absolute ripoff, because I think they don't change the gameplay at all.
At the very least, I look at cosmetic DLC as a tip. Like, it's you tipping the developers.
That's a good one.
That's what a cosmetic is.
Yeah. I know.
It's not forced, thankfully.
And some of them are free.
I would rather them do that than loot boxes.
So I thought what's actually, and this is all for nostalgia purposes for me, I thought what were cool were the ones in Arkham Knight where you could play as Adam West-esque Batman.
That's amazing.
Well, that was...
I did not know that Adam West was...
That one was there.
I did the 80s Batmobile. Yeah.
And you can also play as Batman Beyond Batman. So I thought those were actually really cool because you had to They didn't change the gameplay, but it was just like it's a whole bunch of nostalgia.
Well, it's just for fun at that point. It's
Yeah.
it's like all the Spider-Man costumes where you get some of the silly ones by the end. Like you get the comic-looking one by near the end of the game. Like that kind of stuff. It's not meant to it's not meant to make the game any better. It just makes you like.
I played as Michael Keaton's Batman and his Batmobile for the last half of Arkham Knight.
Yeah, and that was really cool nostalgia and just a lot of fun to do. It wasn't.
That's a good one.
That was just I just think paying for it is an absolute waste because it doesn't change the gameplay at all. That's just my thing.
It's like Adam says, it's tipping, or sometimes they throw it in for free because they know they screwed up.
The ones that, and I hate EA games, but playing as the vintage jerseys in NHL, I think is really fun.
Going back and playing like the seals or like
not the one. Actually, there is one I can point out that I think you both would agree is arguably the best jersey in that game. And I want to see if you guys can guess which one I'm thinking.
There's no way in hell.
If it's not the really cool Phoenix Coyote jerseys, then
nope.
Then you're wrong.
No, I think I'm going to. I think you're gonna disagree with.
Well, you better say it now because I'm already in disagreement.
Vintage Mighty Ducks jersey.
Nope. Because they aren't even the correct colors.
Yeah, but there are still they have the correct ones, don't they?
They don't because Disney owns the rights to them. For the same reason that Anaheim has tried to recollect them, but it's not the same color scheme. They had to make an off color, so it doesn't count.
Yeah, so those are the ones I thought are fun because it brings back the nostalgia.
Yeah,
and actually, the Raptors one in NBA is too because you just have a soft spot for that jersey, especially now with the championship year that they bring back that jersey. It's like, damn, baby, we came a long way.
Good Lord. His two picks are Batman and sports. What a fucking bro, eh?
There's really
he is dressed as Thor.
I mean, to be fair, I shouldn't talk. Literally, all my games are Japanese, so
yeah.
But
everybody's holding to their stereotypes.
There's really nothing I can choose to be different about with this as opposed to because I just think it's a waste. That's just my personal opinion.
I disagree, but it's because you have the choice that it can be.
That's what I like. The choice is there. If you don't use it, use it. If you want to tip them or whatever, use it.
Triangle Boob Lara Croft, I think it was hilarious.
I don't even know if that was DLC or it just came with the game.
No, it came with the game.
Oh, okay. That's what I mean. And that
it doesn't even have to be. It's just special outfits.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's a lot of special outfits when you also have the DLC.
So what do you got?
So as we mentioned, the Triangle Boobs version, PS1 Lara Croft, but they even give you her with that bomber jacket. Then they do print.
Do they have the diver suit, Laura?
No.
That's disappointing.
That would have been cool. But they have Angel of Darkness one that PS2.
The what?
Oh.
Angel of Darkness?
I think there was a
that doesn't exist.
There was a hack.
The PS2 Tomb Raider games don't exist.
Yeah. Well, one does because they got it as DLC.
Actually, I forgot to mention Max Payne had a hack where Max Payne 2 where there was a female character in the game. I forget who it was. That was the first game I ever played that had the word fuck in it. Actual dialogue fuck.
Yeah.
And there was a hack for that where you can make the female character in the game totally naked.
Oh, that's
and now that's literally every modded game ever now on PC.
Yeah, well, there's also there's a mod for Tomb Raider as well for PC, and it's called Nude Raider.
What do you think? That's literally almost the first thing guaranteed. The second Final Fantasy 15 said they were going to open up for mods, and everybody's like, "Well, Cindy's going to get fucking nuded."
Yeah, literally every character. But yeah, so I have the the Tomb Raider game. I thought that was really great. I haven't used it too much. There's a bunch of costumes. I pick one and then I just kind of run with it. I don't know if either of you have played the Tales of series.
Can I guess which one you go? Can I guess the game?
I don't have a specific
I haven't played that one.
Oh, because I was going to say Zestiria has a bunch of them.
Yes, and actually that was the most recent one I played, Zestiria. But I love that whenever a new game comes out, they have costumes for each character that is from another character from the previous game.
Oh, because I have one from Tales of Zestiria that is not.
Oh, really?
Old school ones.
Oh, okay. Well, then I'll stop with what I've got right now.
There is actually a Neon Genesis Evangelion costume pack for Tales of Zestiria.
Oh, yes. I played with that for a while because it even changes the battle music when you put on the costumes. Yes. I did have that for a while.
So that was fantastic.
Yeah, that was cool. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Do you have any others? Because I've got still a bunch.
I've just got one more, and it's when, oddly enough, because I was very surprised when this one happened because they're two different companies.
Actually, I'm sorry, I got one more as well. Go ahead.
Okay. No, go ahead.
No. I want you to finish first.
Okay. Stop being Canadian. Fucking go.
It's Assassin's Creed Origin and Final Fantasy 15.
Oh yeah, that's right.
They had that huge crossover event where in Origins you went through
Noctis
this
could
quest.
be Altair, basically.
Yeah, and you went through as Bayek of Siwa. You went through as him, and you ended up seeing what's the bad guy from Final Fantasy 15? Arden? What's his name?
I think so.
Either way.
Arwen, like that.
Either way, whatever his name is, you actually see him. You go through all these quests. You get like a sword and shield that's like the Final Fantasy 15 stuff. But then your mount, your camel or your horse, whatever, they give you a chocobo. So randomly you have this stuff, and then in Final Fantasy 15 there was these quests where there was an assassin festival.
Yeah, they did some really cool stuff towards the end.
And you got the actual Altair outfit of the original Assassin's Creed for the Final
That's the
Fantasy
thing.
15.
I'll give Square a lot of shit for making a terrible story for 15, but by God, they tried their
asses off
make
after.
it work.
When was 15 released?
I want to say 3-4 years ago.
Was it a PS4 or PS3?
Oh, sorry, I'm thinking when it came out on PC,
minimum
which
at least
was last
3.
year. So
Minimum
yeah, it would have been
3 for
3
sure.
years ago.
Was it a PS3 or PS4?
PS4
generation. Okay,
but it started over 10 years ago in development.
Yeah, it was supposed to be it was supposed to be a 13 sequel.
Yeah,
that's how long ago that was.
It was
So,
supposed
Vish,
to be a
what's
PS3
your
title.
what was your one? Other one?
so this one is again I'm going for with nostalgia. In the last Mortal Kombat game, you were able to play as vintage costume, and this one actually changed the gameplay. Vintage costume, Scorpion and Sub-Zero.
Nice.
Yeah.
And they actually brought in the old school fatalities, whereas Sub-Zero's was he takes your head, pulls it out, and rips out your head and spine.
Yeah.
And
I
also,
love that one.
well,
that's vintage.
they also had the fatality with Scorpion where he takes off his mask, it's a skull, and he burns you to death.
Yeah.
But that one is basically a staple when you play as Scorpion in general.
You just assume fire's involved.
Yeah.
Exactly. So those ones I thought were really cool because again they were the whole vintage. It was like, but they looked terrible. Like they were basically like padded ninja costumes.
Yes, they were.
Which looked ridiculous, but it was still cool too. It's like, oh shit, I remember this.
Yep. Yeah, those are good ones.
So the last 3 I got, I'm going to start with the more obscure ones and end with the final big one. So Persona 5 had, or I guess the Persona series as a whole now, because it has one for every game, they have this dancing series, like a rhythm game based, and they call it Persona 5 Dancing All Night. And they had a bunch of outfits because I mean it's people just dancing. So you have plenty of ways to make cosmetics a thing.
Yep.
They did a bunch of game related stuff, and they did one where it was mostly a Yakuza related. So there's a bunch of them, but the most notable one was Ann Tamaki came out as Goro Majima. So it's a girl with I guess like just like a wrapping around her breast to cover up because she's wearing just straight like Goro's like crazy like snake skin freaking jacket with an eye patch and everything. Like it's fucking badass looking.
Damn.
It looks awesome. You wouldn't know it because the girl is like chic model girl
Yeah.
in the game, and then here she is looking like a fucking psycho.
Yeah. Love it.
The other one was that Morgana, which is this little like
Is
cat.
she the
cat
one from
character.
that one fighting game?
Persona, no, it's like an RPG.
Yeah, no, it's
Okay, no, this is one fighting game with a character. I believe her name's Morgana. She has.
you're thinking Morrigan.
Yes, I am.
You're way off.
Okay.
Very different.
Morgana is like this weird like cat mascot character they came up with.
Okay, yeah.
So the costume that Morgana had, because they didn't have anything Yakuza related, they just gave Morgana a Sonic the Hedgehog costume.
Why have I not played this and know about
Because you
it?
gotta dance fast.
Oh, you gotta dance fast. It's the only way I know how to dance.
The next one, which is a really fun one, Monster Hunter World had a bunch of crossover events.
Yes. They're good with that.
And I got 3 different ones here. So the handler, which is your companion that helps you like set up for the hunts and stuff like that.
Are they normally a cat?
No.
Okay.
I haven't got to that yet. No. She had at one point a Chun-Li outfit.
Nice. Capcom is great for this
The
stuff.
Palico, which is your cat companion that actually fights with you,
Oh, sorry. Okay.
at one point had a retro Mega Man outfit. And when you played, it would actually like shoot and then when you
Actually,
fought a certain boss, it would play Dr. Wily's Castle music.
Oh my god.
That is
I am
one
hard
game
right now
where
for this information.
changing the costume actually affects you a lot. Mega Man.
It's fun as fuck.
Capcom's really good
That's
for
not
these
the same
costumes.
thing. Those aren't DLC costumes. They're literally you stealing the freaking robot.
Yeah.
And then the last one is the main hero that you play as. There was at one point, there's several of these things. You can be Dante from Devil May Cry. You can get those clothes.
Nice.
The best one for me is obviously a little bit skewed because I love the game so much, but they have an Aloy from Horizon outfit for your hero,
Really?
which is fantastic.
Aloy, who's that?
That's the main character of Horizon.
I thought her name was Weifu.
Waifu. Get your
Waifu.
Japanese terms right.
Tome arigato.
No, you're not Mr. Roboto.
I am.
But
I am a robot.
can I punch robots?
They don't have rights yet, so yes.
Perfect. The last one, and this is the most iconic one that we've seen in the last little while. So, a very popular Platinum Games, Platinum Games game
Yep.
was Bayonetta.
Yes.
And obviously wasn't going to have a sequel. But then Nintendo picked up the bill. And in doing so, they re-released the original Bayonetta on Wii U. What they also did was put in a bunch of Nintendo-themed outfits for Bayonetta to wear.
I did not know this. I love it. Go on.
So I think there's more than that, but the three that I remember that they advertise is you can dress up as Princess Peach, you can dress up as Samus, and you can dress up as Link.
What?
So you can have Bayonetta in tunic, little cap, and everything, while being as sexually objectified as possible,
And have
kicking
gun
the
shoes.
shit out of everything, and also killing people with your suit that is also your hair at the same time. Because Japan.
Why not?
I love this. I love
This
it.
is the prime example of no idea is a bad idea.
That's why Japan is so
Unless
good
it's
at what they do.
Bethesda recently.
Yeah, but that's just
Costume-wise, yeah, no idea is a bad idea.
I mean, Saints Row, you can be Roddy Piper.
That's amazing. That is amazing.
So why the fuck not?
Yeah.
Well, there's a one follow game where they had the illegal pass should be David Ortiz, and apparently MLB was fucking pissed about that.
Well, yeah, but hacks are a whole different
Yeah.
story. Because, I mean, in that case, you basically just become Uganda Knuckles in every game now.
Yes. Do you know the way?
No, the waypoint's there. I already know the way. I don't need you to tell me the way.
That's
Do
the
you
way.
know the way? Are you the queen?
I am the captain now.
But anyways,
Wrong Uganda.
I guess that's going to have to do it.
Yeah.
Uganda forever.
So, fucking shut up. So,
Uganda's a real country. Just saying.
hopefully this podcast will come out without any issues.
Yeah.
Because
Some.
2 in a row
And
will
we
be
have
fun.
some listeners from Uganda.
No, I doubt that.
That would be interesting.
Yet.
That's I guess that's a much later goal, I think.
Podcast worldwide.
Well, of course we're a professional podcast. Of course we'd have worldwide listeners.
Yeah. Professional podcast.
I mean, that's not counting us using a VPN and watching it from different places.
True. They'll probably torrent us. It's a free... But everyone's
They're
going to torrent us.
torrenting a free podcast.
They're going to do it anyways.
Oh my god. Man, torrenting's coming back, man. It's already back, I guess,
Well,
essentially.
because essentially cable TV is going to be dead in 3
Cable
years.
TV is already dead, but the problem is every streaming service is now coming out, and now if you
There's
want to watch
too
everything,
many services.
you need to pay for like 7
There's
different
one
streaming
for
services.
NBC, there's Hulu, there's Netflix, there's Disney Plus that's coming out.
Amazon
HBO
Prime,
Max.
there's
Amazon
HBO
Prime.
Max,
Yeah.
It's basically the cost of cable now.
there's
We
Sling
just
TV, like
spread
there's
it
all
out.
these things.
Yeah.
And that's not even counting sports. So we got Sportsnet, Sportsnet Now, TSN Go. Like it's infinite. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
The MCU isn't this convoluted and over the top.
Not at all.
Because they put a lot of effort in being continuous.
Yeah.
No
So-
plot holes.
So that's probably going to do it for the show.
Yeah.
So with that being said, thank you for joining us on this, albeit not really that Halloween-y version, but
Ooh.
we talked about costumes, so that's close enough.
Ooh, spooky.
I couldn't really think of what's your favorite candy in a video game, because that doesn't really work.
Rare candy in Pokemon.
Damn it.
You were going to say that, weren't you?
Yeah. It's the only one I thought of.
P's and Q's in Grand Theft Auto 5.
No, it doesn't work. Chocolate. In
Madden.
real life.
Chocolate from Conker's Bad Fur Day.
Oh, I don't remember that enough.
Steroids and Madden.
That is not the same
Steroids
thing.
in Madden.
Trump is Trump possessing him? Is that what's going on? It is a spooky Halloween episode.
Ooh.
Adam Trump has possessed Vishal Singh. Vishal Singh is so handsome.
Well, we know he's definitely not being
Yeah,
possessed,
he's
and now
not
he's just
being
full
possessed.
of shit.
He wouldn't have said that.
Wrong.
Have you seen him?
Wrong. You're wrong.
But anyways, guys, thank you so much for joining us. We will catch you on the next episode. As always, if you are listening to us on YouTube, like and subscribe. Also share the video with all your friends and comment below if you're listening to it on an audio format, including Apple Podcasts.
We're on
'cause
Apple.
finally on.
Give us a 5-star review.
Yeah, 5 stars if you can on any service you're using. Otherwise, share the link as well.
Yep.
And if you want to leave any sort of messages. At this point, I don't think I haven't made an email specifically for the podcast itself, but if you want to send any sort of questions, suggestions, or just if you want to bitch at me,
us on our
suggestions.
Instagram at VCR.podcast.
you can also reach us all at Twitter, and
Twitter.
that's in the YouTube description below if you're watching from there.
YouTube comments.
Otherwise, if you want to go through
Anything you
email, at this point you can email me at askcsradical@gmail.com if you want to use that as an outlet. So
ASK, not ASS.
I think we figured that one.
Ass.
They don't know because you're an ass.
You know what they say about assume, it makes an ass out of you and me.
Yeah, it does.
So with that being said, guys, thank you so much for joining us on the VCR podcast, and we'll see you next time.
Happy Halloween.